Welcome back, please subscribe and enjoy. Today we'll be talking about a dark fantasy movie called The Witcher Nightmare of the Wolf. Spoilers ahead. The story begins with the noble family traveling together through the woods. However, all of them get stuck. Their father tries to protect them, but unfortunately he's killed by a monster. Lurking in the woods, the monster starts attacking other family members. The most is called election. We kids run away, but some of the bombs into WrestleMania bricks. Yeah. This image doesn't seem to be afraid of the monster. He starts walking towards it, which leads to a stand down between them. Hey, prepare for a fight. And the monster strikes first. They exchange blows, and invested me in most of the users who sold off the sometime of fighting. He jumps on a tree and consumes a potion. Them both jump towards each other for one final blow. The vision and manages to kill him. However, Bifo dying the nation says something to visit me, which leads Resume to believe that it was sent by someone controlled twice a month. We see a woman named who's convinced the king the old recent monster attacks are just part of a conspiracy led by the witch is launching these monsters upon PLE just so they can have a source of income, since not many monsters exist anymore. However, Lady Serbs, who's sympathetic to the witch, is on the Coles poses. She says that there's no proof of what she's saying, and Marxa as the king also decides in favor of the witches and decides to let Hem do their work until that throw brings solid proof of this conspiracy. On the other hand, this is May I ask his friend via the phone about what the monster said. He translates it to be "we're the death of my date." He then also resume if you feel something weird or unusual, and he says that he did feel as if some sort of magic was controlling the monster. Heal 4 videos that many Albertan kills a be disappearing, so we think there might be a connection between the disappearance and these mind control relations. He also suggested me at the help, but he disagrees, which makes it a little annoyed and angry, so he leaves all 3 days. Vesima is left alone. LLS remembering his childhood. He used to work for a noble family once the mistress fell ill suddenly, so as far the sentence of the market. This May is traveling with the donkey, and Ileana suddenly throws a snowball at him. They greet each other and start talking. After some time, estimates suggest they should buy a cake instead with the money his father gave him for the mistress's herbs. They go to the market and successfully manage to steal the hub. However, the coal plant told Insky every month he's a witch named David, and he confronts them. He also has to be taken to the Stress will have the modes the merchant they stole from, so they do as he says. Reaching that day, glad did you use is that the woman was possessed by a monster called Mon-E. Almost everyone else to leave the room. However, they also suggested the boy should stay there when the room is empty. He throws a bag of resume, tasking him with catching the monster Dayton and start exorcising the monster, which makes Resume scared. Although most of these the mistress is BLO. Odie it's attacks to Resume and then tries to run away. However, the vested male runs off to the monster, who suddenly transforms into each Jana and tries to jump out of the window off Dressgate, being decimated. As soon as it reaches the window, Data throws in my city, which pieces through its body and eventually kills it. Before leaving, he gave a share of his payments to the young Vest. Submit the amount of money made by the witch amazes him, getting impressed by all the wealth invested. Me all 6 the widget to take him with him. Jacqueline eventually offers him to come with him and rest. Demi taking up the offer goes to care. More than 2 years of brutal training and body-altering experiments. Becomes a successful witch, is notorious for his blade as well as his cockiness in the present. This is Mavis. Is the cost of that care more hunt? He meets one of his friends. They look up afterwards. This is a major reason that's it. Witch says that witch is the only mental violence. The rule dishonest. Resume meets Declan, who's now all that has seemingly lost one of his eyes. He also expressed about the less you need for investment, tells him some details, then the Vest similar reluctantly oversees the training of a young Galaxy. Colin Lambert to Ezekiel. The kids are quite angry because their training is very tough on the kids. Compel Aining vested may start attacking them and tells them that there are no breaks in the real world if you want a chance to survive this world. If you're trained properly, if not, then this isn't the right place for them. Back in the past, we see Luca as a kid. He says the same words which recipes said, indicating that it's a common speech at the trade issues. After that, they go to sleep. When they wake up, they find themselves in a swamp. As more of the wake up, the why realize that being chased by monsters. Some of the kids get killed by these monsters. Some of these wants to start chasing. Press submit. He decides to run away. However, he falls off a cliff and wakes up on a date. After waking up, he meets Ray Drake, a mate you create. Switches student debt level exit and informs me that there is a letter for him. It was sent by his friend Jana that informs Resume that the village was overtaken by another family and his father was killed. During the whole process there we see a montage of how these young boys are trying to be a witcher. They must Ace harsh training everyone survives is trading the visit May manages to succeed and becomes one of the most talented. Witch is back in the present. This to me a little girl I having a drink in the bar. Suddenly a knight walks up to them and starts criticizing them. He says that witch isn't te useless now, all they do is scan overcharge the people the nice behavior problems look at to get up and make fun of him all of the flights, and the results don't favor these knights is Luca and Vested May manage to kill them. This to me and Luke are imprisoned. You to this on the other hand. Death row and pulls the king to execute the imprisoned witches, but ladies expressways the king to instead send resume along with that the rights of the forest to rid the place of the spell. After some time this was taken from his cell phone. Into another room he meets ladies who's an old Ilya. She tells him that she got married to New York, said whose family took over the city however. He's passed away since then. She tries to talk him into a mission. She wants him to go to the forest and take care of the monsters. To a disturbing the people she has the best of me will be joined by another ally. This ally is none other than that the run as they walk in the forest they really that's surrounded by an illusion is hiding the reality of the forest. That's right. Uses some magic to dismiss the division of finds itself on the edge of a cliff venturing into the forest. This to me and that's on me. To female hybrid human or Dave Kid Suit who sends a % discount to T. He to this music says what he slays the monster he'd suit grease on the body of the slain but sit is suddenly slow start sliding down with the kids. One is the perfect opportunity to find a way. As they distracted she transforms into a fox and then runs away. The estimate tries to catch it throwing in my foot, but it's too late to catch kids to freeze further into the forest. However when kids who escapes it's revealed to them that even the whole slow slide was an illusion. Often what's the pay come across an old and abandoned elves in school where they find the bodies of number Iris female elves. They also sponsor the vans are all tied up inside. They free him and explains it the most. Is it mutated elven girl? She's also behind the kidnappings of missing skills. She tried to retake them as well. Moreover, after investigating they also figure out that these skills are mutated in the same way. Which is not only the witch is a caramel and know how to use this technique. The field gets angry and puts all the blame on this image. It makes the argument. Let me tell you Elven Go shows up who's still alive. That's right, aims of bow I haven't shoots an arrow upon seeing her. However the L stops. Euro decides to take the guild into its head office at leaving the hideout. That Throw uses a spell to destroy the place while Vested May rise towards get more time to confront his mental and monster widget. Declan uses those what is the honest console to tell everything. On the other hand that's about 5 kids too and confronts as she put all the blame on the witch is in those sets aside. It's also revealed that I has managed to convince the king the witch is all breeding monsters for that personal gain, which leads to the beheading of Luca. This image it reaches Care more often and destroys the door of the barn street. He NDS new response of the same chemical that they found in the monster's hideouts. Upon inspecting further a monster jumps at him and he kills it. He realizes the myths were true and witches what are in fact breeding monsters for their personal gain. Certainly Declan Wilson admits to creating he monsters as according to him the witch's work was slowly diminishing juju. A lack of monsters. Resume gets angry and tries to refute his idea. However Declan seems unapologetic and tells them they can't sue. Was also his creation businesses that help but on the place down the tube in Goggin. The sword fight well the finding of mine and now says that they have a visit so it's none other than Adiana came to boldly about that. Throughout the witches gather on the roof and see it as a huge mob ready to attack them is there. But that day then orders the mages to seal themselves in the lab and decides to fight. That the run on me visit may have finally kisses Ileana before heading towards the black hole. Good investor may come face to face with that Throw and they confront each other. That their own feels her true powers now. She showed to be working alongside kids do to control the humans. I don't launch World of Monsters as the monsters and townsfolk attacked the witch is the estimate. Tags come on to retaliates. They all attack of resumes belong to manage to kill some of the most is although they put up a good fight most of which is a must a good juju. The sheer number of monsters in humans. Declan seeing the folly of his actions tries to hold off the horde will decimate. Enters the building to kill. That's right is taking a ride on the other mages as hostages. Ileana tries to confront her while they're talking. This is made jumps is through the roof and confronts Decora. Each registered Throw that he can kill her in an instant. However as soon as he says that gets you arrives and plunges Vested Me into an illusion. But he married Ileana and had a child. This to me realizes that it's a woman. Lucia manages to snap out of it. Then he goes up against that but I fear is the Pfizer. Despite all the efforts this to me overpowers and behead Sir, then he also steps could suit soon as he's done.
Yeah.
There's an eventually fades away the person if I hate it is right, and the person he stabbed is Ileana. What is in shock? That's right, Sax. Rescue me from behind, revealing that she saw a wind chill murder her mother in cold blood. When she was younger, explaining how hatred full, which is before she can deal the final blow, that the right skill by Declan, who's half dead. In self, this to me quickly picks up if Jana, and also they could about the others. Big reveals. That the rule date Declan that hostage rescue me to find the children and make them into a better man. Before succumbing to his wounds, this may get set up with the honor in his hands. He sees the foxes he's walking outside, indicating that it's cute suit, and stops for a moment to kill her. Ileana tells in that it isn't her fault and she never also in this life. So this to me, if it gives up, he takes Ileana Jewel, like wish she confided to resume when they were young. The two share a moment together before in the policy is wait peacefully in his arms. On the other hand, older Witchet children will be in the woods, and they certainly see vested me approaching them. He throws them that Widget medallions at a Ustin to choose to become witch is what we'll call way all boys girls placed. Everyone hates them. Which resumes smirks and replies always evil monsters get rolled. The boys contemplate Basim is words before picking up the medallions. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.